What's up with everyone? How y'all doing? Colorado key investor. I'm a real estate investor based out of Atlanta, Georgia, getting ready to expand to Detroit. I'm here with, a very important figure who is here to educate us on a few tax strategies.
Yes, sir. It's a pleasure. Jaquez Baldwin. I am a legacy speaker, legacy strategist. And man, it's a pleasure being right next to this brother right here. When you talk about real estate investing, he's definitely that guy. So I'm excited to have this conversation.
Absolutely, man. Every time I'm around him, I learn something new, and hopefully y'all take something from the episode today. And a few questions, for real estate investors and me as a real estate investor. I had a few questions for him as a tax strategist. So currently I collect rental income inside of an LLC. When should I start considering changing that business structure from an LLC to an S corp?
Yeah, so that's a great question, especially because a lot of times the biggest issue that we have is how do we structure our business? Real estate is a business, and real estate investing is definitely a business. And so understanding the structure makes a lot of, it's a great start. So first things first is the rule of thumb is $50,000 net. That's when I want to switch it over to an S corp, because now I can now utilize the aspect of now having to relieve myself of paying self-employment tax.
Okay.
Right. So now I allow that burden to go to my employees.
That's fire. I like that a lot, man. Another question I have for real estate investors. Say I'm flipping multiple properties. Let's say I flip 10 properties and have them under one LLC. Or if I flip 10 properties and have a separate 10 different LLCs, have one LLC for each property, which one of those strategies do you think makes more sense?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of own nothing but control everything?
I've heard of similar sayings, but not that one.
Yeah. Basically what it means is being able to understand that, okay, well, if somebody was to sue you as the owner of, let's say, for instance, you had 10 different LLCs and you was the owner of it. Then, well, let's say if you had one LLC of the owner of everything, then guess what? All 10 of your assets are going to go dwindling away. Something happened with that, that lawsuit. Now, one thing like my family we have Baldwin Family Enterprises, but that's our parent company.
Yeah.
So our parent company is now holding the other companies, which is the other 10, we say, for instance, the 10 different LLCs.
Wow. That's amazing, man. That's fire information right there. Just one last question before we wrap it up. Very short episode and everything. What is one piece of advice that you would give to a real estate investor when they're thinking about filing their taxes before that tax deadline, or when they're sitting down and actually filing? What's something that they should keep in mind?
It goes back to structure. Structure. Because most people are so consumed on what they're making instead of how they're structured. And which, when you are able to articulate or better the strategy behind how you structure, is you're able to reap the rewards a lot differently. For instance, there's a difference between a tax preparer and a tax strategist. By all means, I'm not a licensed tax professional, but I actually have access to what we call EAs. EAs are enrolled agents. And so I have a team with them to understand that, hey, there's 77,000 pages on the tax code. I actually read myself the 50 pages in a big, beautiful tax bill. And so now it's about, how do I position myself for somebody like yourself? What am I selling a property? And I don't want to utilize capital gains tax, but I want to retire. So we utilize strategies such as a deferred sales trust, 453 trust. People might not have never heard of that, but my team and I, that's what we specialize in doing.
Well, okay. That's super fire. Thank you very much. This is the first part of a mini-part series. We'll be on here talking to different types of professionals and getting more advice from this young king right here, man. So,
yeah, I know you have something for the people as well.
Hey.
When you think about your experience and just being an investor, what is one of the number one things you would advise somebody as far as just the relationships, as far as when it comes to tenants?
One of the things and the most important things, I deal with tenants close to every day. One of the most important things when dealing with tenants is understanding conflict resolution. You feel me? To put yourself on the back burner and know, like, although they're complaining. They complain about a lot of stuff I wouldn't necessarily complain about. It doesn't matter what I will feel, what I'm willing to sacrifice, what I'm willing to go through. My goal is to provide them with the safety and comfort of a home. You feel me? And I provide additional resources such as furniture, and people, you know, still feel privileged and want more. But at the same time, I don't take anything personal. I have a level of understanding, and I realize that whenever they call me with any issues or anything, my goal is to resolve their conflicts.
That's it. That's it. Hey, man, that's some game.
Yes, sir.
That's some game.
Yes, sir.